Good morning, everybody. I'm trying to set the mood here for like a peaceful morning. Lighting my candle. Elizabeth is singing in the background. And I'm about to fry me some eggs and make me some avocado bagel toast. So today I've got a little project in my kitchen that I'm going to work on, a little place above my oven that I want to paint and kind of put all of my main baking ingredients that I pull for all the time on certain things that I make. So that's what we're going to get in today, but we're going to get some breakfast. Already had coffee, and then we'll start working on that little project. Using my little Thrifted Lodge cast iron skillet here that I am loving. I'm trying to get it kind of seasoned. Like it still seems, even though I got it at the thrift store, whoever had it must not have ever used it. It's taken me a little while to get it kind of seasoned and broke in where things don't get stuck on it. And before I put my eggs on top of this, I like to add some everything bagel seasoning. It is so good. I don't put very much because I find it's pretty salty. Whoops. But it does just boost it a little bit and give it a little something something. Make you feel like you're doing something really, you know, special for breakfast, I guess. And I like to just put my egg right on top. A little piece stuck here. Let's get that. And there you have it. This is my breakfast / my lunch, because I normally eat breakfast a little bit later. I'm not a big breakfast eater, so even if it's getting closer to around lunchtime, I will just have like breakfast and lunch combined into one. I'm just, like I said, I'm not a big breakfast eater early in the morning. I do love breakfast food. I just don't like to eat early in the morning, I guess is what I should say. But so here is brunch. in the middle of doing all of that, I accidentally hit a wrong button. You know, just having your hands and all in paint and on caulk, you when you are the cameraman, you make mistakes. So I do apologize, but let me just walk you through what I did. Y'all saw the quick before. So it had huge like gaps up here. So I just went in, it's got shading, I'm sorry. I just went in with some caulk. You're not gonna be able to see this once everything's up here and closed, but I did want to go ahead and caulk all of this, even like the little bitty seams here, because this is above an oven here. I wanted to make sure that I did that. I'm just gonna put this little buffalo check placemat down here because I'm going to put an old thrifted bread box that I took apart and painted up here to kind of act as a shelf. So what I'm wanting to put up here is, y'all know that I like to use parts of my kitchen because I am a working kitchen. I like for things to work for me in my kitchen. So I want all things up here. And if you're worried about does this get hot up here, it does not. There is obviously something, there's something or some way that keeps this from getting hot. So whatever I put up here, you do not have to worry about it getting hot. My husband was concerned about that too. So we did like a couple test run on it, or at least I did, to make sure that nothing was getting hot up here before I ever even painted and decided to do this. So I did do that, and nothing gets any hotter up here than it does in any other cabinet in my house, even with the oven there. And I don't know why, it just doesn't. So what I want to put up here is some of my baking ingredients that I grab for and use all the time. Like, I make muffins all the time. I love to make bread, different things like that. So there are some canisters on my counter that hold flour and sugar, but I want to put just smaller things up here that I like to grab for when I'm baking. That way I don't have to have them back in my other pantry, back in the other bedroom, or this one over here behind me. They'll be up here kind of hidden out of the way, but very accessible for me when I need them. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to put in this cabinet is, I have this crate here that I'm not really using for decor or anything. And because I don't want to get rid of it, I really like just how old it is. I'm going to put it in the back, the very back of this cabinet, just like this, because it'll be out of the way. Oh, there's a nice little spider web. Let me get that. Act like y'all didn't see that. But anyway, I'm just going to put that back there. That way it's out of the way, and like I said, it's not hurting anything, and I can get it out if I need it. But that bread box only sits back about this far. Y'all will see here in just a minute. So okay, so this little thing here was probably in one of my very first thrifting videos. It was an ugly bread box. Let me try to get it in frame where y'all can see it go. Well, I'll put it up here and then I'll show y'all. It was, you know, just ugly. And so what I did is I took the door off of it and I painted the whole thing. And what I did with it, the first year I had it, is I used this as like a little village. I put little Christmas trees on here and those little light up houses. And I had those all down here and then all on the top. And it was the cutest thing, y'all. I really loved it. So I'm gonna just set this bread box right in here on top of this. I don't want the paint from this and this paint to, even though it's dry, I've let it dry for several hours. I mean, it was way earlier when I was filming, and then I did the painting, and so it's been several hours and it's good and dry, I hope. So, I mean, it feels dry. So I just want to put this on there, and I am going to push it all the way down because I'm utilizing this little space right here for a cookbook that I use all the time. Actually, I want to make sure it's even right here with this so I can get to the stuff. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I have powdered sugar that I'm going to put up here. I don't have anything really right here. You'll see there's kind of like this blank space back there, but it's just going to have to be that because I'm not going to be able to reach anything back there. So that's why I don't want anything back there other than that brown little tray thing that I put back there. Okay, and now I've got some brown sugar. I'm gonna put me some cocoa up here, and can y'all tell that I love to put things in glass jars, either mason jars or Wexford canisters. If I can find some Wexford canisters to replace for these, I'm going to, like the medium-sized ones, because I find like these take up a lot of space. I got these from Asia Standard, And I did like them at first, but I really think I like my Wexford canisters better. So I've got brown sugar, and then, I mean, that's not brown sugar, that's cocoa. I'm gonna scoot that over because I don't grab for that as much as I do baking soda. And baking powder. So these are things that I grab for a lot. Cinnamon is also something else that I grab for a lot. And I don't have this in a cute little container just because I do want to identify that this is just regular old Morton table salt. So there are just some recipes that I will not veer away from just using this regular old table salt. I buy Celtic salt, I buy kosher, I buy all the different salts. But sometimes when I am baking certain things, I have tried it with those other salts and it just does not do as well. So I do stick to this when I do a lot of my baking. So I'm going to put that right there so I can see it. And then, actually, I think I'll just move this over here. And then I have, of course, some of my homemade vanilla. I only have a few of these left. I gifted some, and then I kept a couple for myself. No, I kept like 3 or 4 for myself, and I gifted like 3 or 4. I can't remember. But I just add vodka. I have just added vodka to some of these and let them sit again. And it's made vanilla maybe not as strong as before, but this is like a second round one here. And look how dark it is. Like, that's amazing. So I still use my vanilla that I made probably like, I don't know, 2 years ago. And then I do have some buttermilk powder here. Now, I do not bake with this, but I do keep it up here with this stuff. Actually, I think I'll put it in the bag. I know I have it if I need to make something with buttermilk. I just use that buttermilk powder because I just don't buy buttermilk and keep it in my house. So that's why I bought the powder. Some recipes do call for it in baking, not very many, but I like to just have it up here and not have to go searching for it elsewhere if I need it. So another thing I have up here, because I do put this in my muffins, I need to put it in a glass container. It came from Asia Standard like this. I just pulled out of my stockpile pantry the other day. It is this organic powdered peanut butter, and I love to add this to like chocolate chip muffins because it kind of gives that chocolate and peanut butter taste. That's like one of my favorite, chocolate and peanut butter. You can never go wrong with it. So anyway, I'll add a couple tablespoons to this to my muffins sometimes, and I really like that. Now I do have some yeast up here, but I don't know why I have this little jar of yeast up here. I must have been doing a bunch of baking or something the other day. It's been fine, it's still good. I just used it the other day and it's working. I think because it is in the dark up here, it's not necessarily cool up here like a freezer or a refrigerator, but it's not getting hot up here like I said. So my yeast is still active because I literally just used it, but I keep most of my yeast like bigger jars and stuff like that in the freezer. So I'm just going to put this up there just so I'll be able to see it and know that it's there. And again, like I said, I do make muffins all the time. So I just have some of these no-stick parchment paper cups and I just keep them in a bowl right up here. Very easy for me just to grab. And then because I've been trying to make some of my own coffee creamer, I don't necessarily use this in baking, but I do use this when I make my own creamer. So I just want to have it up here just so I can see it. And the same thing goes for this hazelnut extract. It's so that I can use that to make my homemade creamer. And I think I'm going to move this around just a little bit. I don't like having things, basically I don't like to have things parked in tandem order too much if I can get away with it. I like to be able to see things. So I'm just going to put that, and I can reach every bit of this from the floor. It is pretty high, but if I'm on my tiptoes, I can still even grab these things on the top. So this is so handy because I do love for things to be grouped together. And I do a lot of my mixing and different things like that over here at the bar. And so all I have to do is move this curtain back. I'll show y'all that in a minute. And then a lot of the things that I need to add to different baking supply ingredients, excuse me, are right here. So easy for me. And then this recipe binder I did buy at Sam's a while back. I got all my girls one. I do pull this down to look for recipes more than anything else, any other cookbook. And I just really like it. It has the folders and different things like that. I really like having this. And all I do is I slide this basically upside down right here on the side, and I leave it kind of out just a little bit so that I can go in and grab it. The only thing is it's getting kind of tore up here, you know, on the ends, just from me pulling on it and things like that. But hey, what good old country cookbook is in great condition if it's being used? You know what I mean? Like, I love those recipes that you got from your mama or your grandma, and they got butter splattered on them. There's a little flour smudge still on there. Like, you know that that recipe is good and loved, and that it's being used if it is got stains, coffee drips, all the things on it. Okay, so I did change out this curtain. I used to have the fabric that kind of matched a chair that I have, but I changed out all the fabric pieces in here in my kitchen, I don't know, probably a few months ago. So what I do, and I know that this is, you know, not very professional, but again, we just living in the country here. This is just a country house, and things don't have to be perfect. Now, these are the little curtain clips that I'm always telling y'all about. I get so many questions about how I hang up certain things. And it's these little clips right here. I have these on shower curtain. Well, I actually have them on tablecloths that I use as shower curtains in one of my bathrooms. And this is what I use here. It's just one of these, and they just hook on, right? You see how I've kind of just got it clipped on there, and then this loop part goes on the rod. And I don't have ends on these right now because they won't, this is how I keep this from sliding all over the place. So I just slide it through. I have just a little hook up there, and then I take the end and then I slide it on. Okay, and then I kind of pull my curtain, and I do the same thing on this other end. I just push it through that hook and then push my little end piece on there. So I do it like that so I can just move the curtain over to the side, walk away, get what I need to get while I'm baking and cooking and all the things, and then I can just shut the curtain when I'm done, and there you have it. So if I didn't have those little stoppers on the end, this rod would just be sliding all over the place. So when I'm not using anything, it's just a neat, clean, flat piece of material, and just makes everything look clean and organized. So yeah, there it is, kind of from afar. Now, because it is getting a little bit later, we're about to go over here and make some tacos for supper. Alright, I just got me a little bit of butter, just a little bit, in the pan just to get it going, because I use some pretty lean hamburger meat. And I'm sure that most everybody knows how to make tacos. But the reason I wanted to include this in here is just, one, I enjoy watching people cook, and two is I do not use a taco packet to make my taco meat taste like tacos. So I am just using the Members Mark organic grass-fed, all that good jazz beef. I have not been to the meat market that I normally go to in a very long time, so I just kind of stocked up when I was at Sam's the other day. It's not my favorite, but it's better than a lot of other options out there. So all we do, or all I do, I am not telling you how to make or do your tacos. Buy the packet if you want to. I'm just simply on here to tell people that you can do it so easy yourself. It is so ridiculously easy, you're going to be shocked. Now, I may not add what some people add to their homemade taco seasoning, sorry if it's loud, recipe, but I promise you it tastes just as good. I have not bought, so taco seasoning packets is one of those things that I omitted from my grocery store a long time ago. That was one of the things that I switched over when I tried to buy healthier things. But I mean, like you know, I've told y'all this before, we do not buy everything, we do not do it all right. But when I can and where I can, I try to make better choices. So all I'm going to do is I always season my meat, and I am a measure with your heart kind of woman. Maybe that's a teaspoon. No, we need another one, so maybe 2. And I'm just using Redmond's salt, and then a little bit of pepper. And then I'm almost out of this, but I did a whole pantry what do you call it, organization, kind of clean out and organize the other day. And I have 4 or 5 bottles of this, so that's why I'm so thankful to have that pantry in there. So now that I'm out of this all-purpose seasoning, I know that I have more back there, and I just got to go fill this up. But I like to wash them when they're empty before I fill them back up again, just to, you know, give everything a good clean. So now all I've done is basically season the meat. So I do not put the, oh wait, you know what, I did forget something. Garlic powder. Garlic powder goes in everything. Y'all know how it is. I'm pretty liberal with garlic powder. I just really love it. And I normally add onion to this. But listen, y'all, I am tired. I am so tired. So we're about to just do some onion powder and call it good. I think that's onion powder. No, that's ground mustard. I should probably put my sunglasses on. I mean, oh my God, can y'all tell I'm tired? I should probably put my reading glasses on. Here's the onion powder. Mercy. A little bit of onion powder. Do I even have any? So this onion powder from Azure has been kind of clumping up on me. I don't know if it's because I probably need to quit pouring it over there and letting the steam get in it. It's just one of those in a hurry cook things. I think it'll all break down and stir in here in just a minute. Okay, so I did add garlic powder, onion powder. Like I say, I normally cut up a small onion to cook in this, but you know what? There are just those weeknights that you just need to just get it done. Like, you're hungry, your family's all growling at you coming in the kitchen. Okay, so y'all tell me this. When you're cooking and your family is hungry, you're in there just doing the best you can, and they start to congregate around the kitchen. They will ask me, they do say, do you need some help, or can I do something? Really, there's really nothing else you can do for tacos. I mean, I got a little bit of lettuce and a tomato that I'm going to cut up, but that takes me like no time at all. I enjoy them just being in here though and visiting when they do. You know, lives are just so busy. My goal is to just live simply and slow down. I have just been so tired of the go, go, go that I want to just simply be at peace and live a slower paced lifestyle. That's my goal. That's why I'm trying to get things cleaned and organized around here and get Elizabeth situated in college and all the things. And then my goal and my plan is to just slow my roll. Alright, so this meat is smelling really, really good. I really need to turn this vent fan on, but I will probably kill y'all's ears if I do that. So I'm just over here burning up for y'all, just so you know. I love y'all that much. Alright, so I'm going to get this meat cooked. Oops, and I'm slinging meat. Where'd that go? I saw it. And then I'll come back over here to y'all when this meat gets all finished and show y'all just the very simple ingredient that I put in here to make this tacos. Okay, so I can start to tell when all the grease is pretty much cooking out of my meat. I can just smell the difference. I know that sounds weird, but I just can, and it starts to look a little dry. Well, I don't want it to just get burnt up crispy, so I'm going to turn this way down. And then you know how in the packet, the taco packet, they tell you just to add a little bit of water. So that's what I do as well. Let me go get some water out of my Berkey real quick. Okay, so I turn it down to low. I add about a third a cup of water. Let me make sure I'm getting the right ingredients in here. I'm going to get chili powder and cumin. So I just have cumin, and honestly, you could just use cumin and it would be just fine, but I do like to add a little bit of chili powder just for a little bit of a kick. So I add maybe a tablespoon of the chili powder. And then I'm kind of liberal with the cumin, but I'm going to try to measure it for y'all. So I probably put, that maybe is 1 tablespoon. Let's just call it 2 and a little bit more. And you can already smell it in here. It already smells like tacos. And I'm glad that I have some cumin back in my stockpile pantry because I just ran out of that too. That's it, y'all. That is it. Literally, if you've got cumin in your pantry, you've got taco seasoning. Do not keep spending money on all of those expensive packets full of sodium. Even the low sodium ones are full of things you just really don't have to have for taco night. And that's it. And I just stir it together. I do see it's kind of looking a little dry to me, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water because I like for mine to get stirred around good and kind of simmer in that water for just a minute and make it just good and soaked into the meat. So yeah, so that really is the only ingredient necessary for your tacos. Just make sure you've got some cumin. I will recommend the chili powder. And again, just, you know, season your meat when you're cooking it, salt, pepper, whatever kind of stuff you like. An onion is really good cooked in here. I normally do that, but again, my back, y'all, is like, my back is bothering me, and I'm tired. So we are just about to get some tortillas out. There was some sour cream, some lettuce, tomatoes, and some of this meat on there. And we are calling it a night as far as supper goes. So thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I really enjoy hanging out with y'all. If you have any video ideas, please leave them down below. I'm trying to kind of figure out what everybody likes or wants on this channel. I am being a lot more active over here, if you cannot tell. But I need y'all's ideas. Do y'all like just hanging out, seeing what I'm doing? Because everything that I film and post is something that I'm already doing. So I don't try to plan anything out for this channel. Like if I'm already doing it, then I film it. Like I don't go out of my way to schedule something to film around my house, because these are things I'm already doing anyway. But anyway, just like on my thrifting channel, I go thrifting every week anyway, so that's why I just started bringing y'all along over there. But yeah, all right, let me get my taco put together, and I'm gonna eat that to get me a bath and go to bed, and we will see y'all in the next one. All right, so I have my tortilla with some sour cream and some cheese, and then I just put me a scoop of meat on here, like so. I mean, everybody knows how to make a taco, but it's always fun to watch somebody else do it, right? Put me some lettuce, a few tomatoes with my hands, yes. Best kitchen utensils around. Gonna have some of my tortilla chips from Asia Standard and some white queso on the side. And then that's supper, y'all. Supper is served.